Video begins with a montage of iconic Ayrton Senna moments. His pole lap at Monaco in '88, celebrating in the rain, intense on-track battles, and his warm smile off-track. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're taking a journey back in time to talk about a name that, even decades after his final race, still sends shivers down the spine of every motorsport fan, Ayrton Senna. He wasn't just a driver, he was a force of nature, a spiritual warrior in a cockpit, and a man whose legacy has profoundly shaped Formula One into what it is today. So buckle up as we explore the unforgettable impact of Ayrton Senna. From his very first laps in a go-kart in Sao Paulo, Brazil, it was clear that Senna was different. He didn't just drive, he danced with the machine. His arrival in Formula One in 1984 with the Toleman team was a sign of things to come. Who could forget the Monaco Grand Prix that year? In torrential rain, a young, almost unknown Senna in an uncompetitive car was hunting down the leader, Alain Prost. The race was controversially stopped, but the world had taken notice. A new master of the rain had arrived, and his raw, unadulterated talent was undeniable. But what made Senna, Senna? It was his relentless pursuit of perfection. He famously said, "Being second is to be the first of the ones who lose." This wasn't just a catchy phrase, it was his entire philosophy. His qualifying laps were legendary, moments of pure, unbridled speed where he seemed to enter another dimension. The most famous, of course, is his pole position at Monaco in 1988. He was nearly 1.5 seconds faster than his teammate and rival Alain Prost in an identical car. He later described it as an almost out-of-body experience, a state of pure concentration where he was no longer consciously in control. This was the Senna mystique, this ability to push beyond the known limits of a car and himself to touch a level of performance that others couldn't even comprehend. His driving style was aggressive, passionate, and utterly captivating. He was a master of car control, especially in wet conditions, earning him the nickname Rainmaster. Races like Donington in 1993 are the stuff of legend. On the opening lap, in treacherous rain, he went from 5th to 1st, overtaking Schumacher, Wendlinger, Hill, and Prost in what is widely considered the greatest single lap in F1 history. It was a masterclass in skill, bravery, and instinct. He didn't just drive on the wet track, he owned it, finding grip where no one else could. Of course, you can't talk about Senna without mentioning his epic rivalry with Alain Prost. It was the professor versus the magician, a clash of styles, personalities, and philosophies that defined an era of Formula One. Their battles were intense, sometimes bitter, and often spilled over into controversy, like their infamous collisions at Suzuka in 1989 and 1990 that decided the World Championship. This rivalry wasn't just a sporting contest, it was a psychological war that pushed both men to their absolute limits and gave us some of the most dramatic moments the sport has ever seen. It was a golden age, a high-stakes drama that captivated millions around the globe. But the man outside the car was just as complex and compelling as the driver within. Beneath the helmet of the ruthless competitor was a deeply spiritual and compassionate individual. He spoke openly about his faith and believed his talent was a gift from God. He was also fiercely proud of his Brazilian heritage. Back home, he was more than a sports star. He was a national hero, a symbol of hope and excellence during a difficult time for the country. He felt a deep responsibility to his people. Unbeknownst to many during his lifetime, he secretly donated millions of his fortune to help underprivileged children in Brazil. His commitment to making a difference was profound. After his death, his family established the Ayrton Senna Institute, which has since helped millions of children receive a better education, turning his personal dream into an enduring, life-changing legacy. The weekend of the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix at Imola is a dark chapter in the history of motorsport. The tragic events that unfolded, culminating in Senna's fatal crash, sent a shockwave across the world. It was a moment of collective grief, a loss that transcended sport. But from this immense tragedy came the single most significant change in Formula One history, a revolution in safety. Senna himself had become increasingly concerned about safety in the days leading up to his accident, especially after the crash of his compatriot Rubens Barrichello and the tragic death of Roland Ratzenberger in qualifying. His passing was the final devastating catalyst that forced the FIA and the teams to make safety their absolute #1 priority. The cars we see today, with their halo protection devices, high-tech survival cells, and improved circuit designs. So, what is Senna's lasting impact? It's in the breathtaking qualifying laps that still give us goosebumps. It's in the memory of his masterful wet-weather driving. It's in the safety standards that protect today's drivers. But more than that, it's in the spirit he embodied. He showed us that raw passion, unwavering self-belief, and a relentless pursuit of greatness could elevate a sport into an art form. He inspired a generation of drivers, from Michael Schumacher to Lewis Hamilton, who grew up idolizing him and trying to emulate his commitment and fire. Ayrton Senna was more than just a 3-time world champion. He was an icon, a humanitarian, a spiritual figure, and a catalyst for change. His story is a powerful reminder of the fragility of life, but also of the enduring power of a legacy built on passion, excellence, and a desire to be the very best. He may be gone, but his spirit continues to race on in the heart of Formula One. Thank you so much for joining me on this look back at the incredible life of Ayrton Senna. What's your favorite Senna moment? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories from the world of motorsport. We'll see you in the next one.